them this close, but this is the first time I remember in a long time I won one this close.
There's no changes now. They're only having their lead in either way. What strategy? Richard Petty has won the 200th race.
I understand that no one has ever done that.
You would have brain and said, well, you know, at this point for Richard Petty.
Look through the Daytona 500 record book, and Richard Petty's name is everywhere. 7 wins, 16 top 10s. He led 20 of them. He's led 781 laps, led almost an entire 500-mile race here, 184 to 200 laps. The king is the man when it comes to the Daytona 500 and its records. And Richard Petty joins us now, and I, as promised, I turn the floor over to you, sir.
Richard, I got to tell you, practice was over this morning for the Cup cars. And when it was all said and done, at the very top of the board was car number 43. But one thing, when I looked at that number, one thing struck my mind is that Kyle's not here driving this year. And with you being an owner of Petty Motorsports, and number 43 being at top, you feel an emptiness right now that Kyle's not here this year driving?
Definitely, circumstances beyond any of us' control. Sponsorship monies, the way we moved around, got my Petty here, took over his operation. Looks like I know after 60 years not to do this, but anyhow. You know, all that was so busy over the winter and stuff that we just never was able to put anything together for it.
But when you reflect right now, so you do have an emptiness in your heart, kind of a funny feel.
There's always been a Petty here, okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, when you look at it from that standpoint, everything goes away. You know, over a period of time, and it just looks like that part of our destiny or whatever's gone away.
Richard, the Dodgers over the past few years have not been able to seem to get themselves up to competing with the GM cars, the Toyotas. Does this merger help your race team? Is this going to bring Dodge back to prominence?
We're hoping so. Okay, we're a little bit down on torque, maybe not horsepower, just plain getting the cars up and getting them running. And the restrictor plates really hurt the Dodge engines more than they hurt any of the other engines as far as the torque and stuff. So, you know, this is just one race. We'll have 35 more after this one. And, but we feel like what little we bring to the table and what they've already had at GM. And if we can throw out the bad parts and keep the good parts, then we should have really good teams.
It's going to be a strong merger for you? It's going to make you
I think it's really going to be strong. You know, I think all the players bring something to the table. It's not a deal where we brought something in just because it was there. I brought in some boys with me. You know, we brought in a couple of cars and stuff. And, you know, we'd already been using their engines. So we already know that part of it. Some of our cars have been a little bit different, but now we all get on the same page.
You got some young guys over there now, and I know that, you know, your partnership now with George, it looks like the cars are competitive. They're running good. They ran good in the shootout and in the 150s. But did you sit? You know, you got Reed, you got AJ, and you got Casey, and even Elliott's not that old. Have you sat them down and held school and said, boys, now look, here's what we got to do to win this race?
Well, we haven't got that far yet. we did sit down and talk to a couple of them in the 150-mile race in order to get the 44 car in. The other cars were in. The 43 was in and the 19 was in. So I don't know if you watched the race or paid that much attention, but the 19 backed up to get back with the 44 in order to take up a position because we needed to be in the first two finishes, go home guys. And it was really a team effort. Both of them really lost positions just to try to get the 44 car in.
Here's what I want to know. You've been coming to this racetrack since the gates opened in 1959. Do you ever get tired of coming here, or when you come through the tunnel to open the new season, does it still feel good?
It's just like spring, okay? I mean, it's starting all over again. You're starting with a clean slate. We come down here, nobody's won this race, nobody's had a good year yet. Forget what happened last year. You know, that went away in the wintertime. And sometimes that momentum does carry you through, or you think about it, but the best thing to do is just sit down and say, okay, this is this year. Forget everything we've done in the past. Now, what is it going to take us to go to Daytona, run good, win the race, and go from there?
You've watched the racing all week. Sorry, Rusty, jump in on you. You've watched the racing all week. In your opinion, as a 7-time winner, what are we going to see on Sunday?
Same thing you can see it. Okay, nobody knows. That's what's really, with the restrictor plate deals, a lot more so than, say, watching the 79 race. Those two cars that run off and left everybody. You don't see that anymore with the restrictor plates. And even if they get out there, then you get 2 or 3 behind, gets hung up together, and they come back. So the drafting is just completely different now than what it was in the past.
Richard, thanks for your time. We appreciate you coming by, sharing some memories with us, talking about your new team setup, and we'll watch with interest tomorrow in the 500, see how your cars make out.
We will too.